Hey everyone, my name is Liz Wright, and I am a professor of psychology at Northwest Vista College in San Antonio, Texas. And every day I've been bringing you some research results or things that I have found in the media that relate to psychology. And today's topic is probably going to resonate with a lot of you. So if you are a sibling, so if you have at least one sibling, you might have questioned as you were growing up whether or not your parents had a favorite. And as parents, we all know that we're not supposed to have favorites, but we've talked a little bit before in my classes about how goodness of fit and similarity can make it challenging for parents to interact with some children and can make it easier to interact with other children. So yesterday, the American Psychological Association um, summarized an article that I will link for you in the information area on this post, where the researchers basically did a meta-analysis of 30 different primary sources to see what the general findings of all of those results are. So with a meta-analysis, basically what we do is we go into the research, we go into the primary sources, so we go into databases and we find different articles that are written about the same topic. We check to see if the variables are measured similarly, and then we kind of group all of that data together and analyze that data as one set to see if across those 30 studies there is actually results that are statistically significant. So what the researchers found is, well, first, the hypothesis was that moms would prefer or have a preference for daughters, while men would have a preference for sons. What the research found is that both moms and dads have a preference for daughters. So if you are a sibling and you have, if you're a male and you have a female sibling and you always thought that, your parents preferred your sister, could be possible. All right. So the article talked about how parents show favoritism and a couple of different ways that they looked at. And I'm going to check the article as I'm talking about this too, so that I make sure that I get all of the important points. So how they interact with their children, how much money they spend on them, what we call resource allocation, and then how much control they exert over them and their behavior. So the 5 domains were overall treatment, positive interactions, negative interactions, resource allocation, and control. One of the things that the researchers found is that children who were highly conscientious, so children who are good students, get good grades, follow the rules, don't have to be reminded of the rules, are typically preferred and are given those preferences that we just talked about, more so than children who are less conscientious. So they received more favorable treatment than the children who weren't as conscientious. And then the other part that they talked about that there's different factors that might play a role, but they were less conclusive in the results, such as the child's age or the parent's age, the education level of the parent, all that sort of stuff. So one thing that we want to think about as adults, as parents, as caregivers, and TOs and TS and all those people who interact with children is, are we giving preferential treatment to girls? Are we giving preferential treatment to children who demonstrate more conscientiousness? And if we kind of recognize that we are, then we should look at our behaviors and think, okay, how does a child who isn't as conscientious, or maybe the male child, feel in terms of how they are treated by the adult, and how can we change our behaviors towards these non-preferred children.